team ban.
Alright guys, and we are back for game 2. Oh man, we're already in the banning picking phase. Awesome. That was a real short break, so good. We're back. If you guys are just now joining us, this is game 2 of the Play Raidcall DotA2 Cup. This is the second one, number 2. Sponsored by Raidcall, MSI, Steel Series, and Azo. This is Counter Logic Gaming versus xGosu. Or actually, vice versa. xGosu is now on the Radiant side, and CLG will be on the Dire. CLG lost game 1. They had somewhere at one point they had a 14,000 lead. But xGosu with some great team fights, really great picks all around. Just like Blitz was saying last game, they didn't panic and they executed very well into the mid game, and they came back. So xGosu taking the first game 1-0 right now. And we are going to head straight into this game. We already got bans coming out. We got Chen, Invoker, and Leshrac being banned out by xGosu. And now Lycan, Furion, and we're waiting for the final ban by CLG.
5 seconds
real quick, guys, while we're doing that, I just want to give a couple shoutouts. First of all, we're doing a couple of beta key contests, if you guys don't know. One of them is on Twitter. We ask a question. I think today and tomorrow are going to be the last ones. But we ask a question on Twitter. First person to respond with an answer wins a beta key. So if you have it, follow us on Twitter right now. We are going to be posting it very shortly. I figure I'd let you guys in on that little secret. And so yeah, get a chance to win a beta key. Awesome. So follow us on Twitter. Also, like us on Facebook. We got another contest going on there. We actually just gave away 10 beta keys. Once we hit 150 likes, we gave away 10 beta keys to 10 different random people. And so a whole bunch of people were excited about that. We're going to be doing another giveaway at 500. So if half of the people watching the game right now go and like us on Facebook, we'll be forced to do another beta key giveaway, like right away. Like, we'll have to, like, spam Ice Frog for beta keys and be like, holy shit, we hit 750 viewers, we need beta keys right now. And, so yeah, if you guys do that, we've got 1,500 viewers on the stream right now, so big shout out to you guys. We're also paying attention to the chat, or I'm trying to, as much as I can. So, I know it's a little bit of pain in the butt, having to make a profile and everything in order to talk to people, but, we are here, we do listen, so, join us there. And also, let's see, tomorrow is going to be the finals. They did a little switcheroo on us, and we're going to have the finals tomorrow. And the prize pool, which is first place, is 500, and then the MVP gets a backpack. Now, how they decide the MVP is actually you guys get to decide. Facebook.com/Fnatic. That is how, after the finals, they're going to have a little dealio up there, and you're going to be able to vote for who was the MVP. So you get to decide who that is, as well as they're also going to have a pretty sweet t-shirt giveaway. That's going to be going on in the raid call. Tomorrow they have their own channel and they have their own thing. So definitely check in with us tomorrow. Tune in not only for the finals, but also some giveaway stuff. But yeah, I think that's all the whoring that I'm going to do until let's go ahead and talk about this game. We saw Darkseer being the final third ban for CLG. Enigma being first pick. Interesting. Brewmaster and Sand King being picked up by CLG, and now Beastmaster, Vengeful Spirit, they're 2-3 for xGosu, and CM being picked up for CLG. Blitz, what do you think so far about the lineup?
I mean, if you'll notice, they have 3 identical heroes from their last game. They're not going to be able to get the Leshrac, but I mean, if you'll look at xGosu's lineup, it's almost identical to what you saw, and they really like running this lineup. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if they went for a tiny pick again. At the same time, CLG, this time, they're saying, okay, we're done with that split push farming thing. It's time to go for team fights. And this is a team that is experienced. They've been together for a lot longer than xGosu has, so I think they're going to try to play into that advantage. I'm a little surprised that if they won't pick any sort of hard carry, and I mean, if you see xGosu just ban that Pycat anti-mage, at the same time, how many times do you see respect bans like that, a Morphling and a Tiny taken out? Like 2 heroes that make Korok famous.
Sorry. I muted my mic because I had something caught in my throat and
No problem.
was doing massive amount of coughing. Yeah, I know, right? I love the Brewmaster. I mean, I love whenever I see
10 seconds
Brewmaster go through
remaining.
the first set of bans and actually is picked up by a team. I love it so
5
much.
seconds
I'm kind of
remaining.
surprised that xGosu valued Enigma over Brewmaster, but like you said, they're going up pretty much the
Reserve
exact same
time.
lineup as last time. Maybe we'll see Tiny pick up. We see Animage and Windrunner being banned out by xGosu. So once again, they don't have that. They already have their side solos, so they don't have to worry about that. So they take away the Windrunner away from CLG. And then Morphling and Tiny being banned out by CLG. So again, we're not going to see that Tiny pickup. And no Morphling. Which, Morphling is another hero which could work kind of well with xGosu, sort of team fight orientated. He does do very well in the laning phase, and also has the capabilities to scale into the late game, whereas last game they didn't really have that so much. I mean, I was very surprised. I mean, every single time Tiny picks up that Aghanim's, it's just, I don't know, it's a surprise to me every single time. I'm just like, look at all the damage he did, and I'm just like, how did that happen? And that happens every time. Even if you see 10 games in a row, I'm just like, what? How is Tiny doing so much damage? We are going to see Lone Druid pick up, so we are finally going to see him picked up. Was he banned at all last game?
If I remember correctly, I don't think so. I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't think so either, but I just sort of figured since he wasn't in the game that he must have been banned out. And honestly, I don't know how you feel about Lone Druid, but I really think he's one of the strong heroes. Not necessarily like, I don't think he's Brewmaster sort of first pick sort of style. I don't think he deserves that, but definitely in the second set of picks, you'll often see him banned out in the second set of bans a lot. I do think he's strong enough to, to merit definitely being picked up and not being ignored completely. But I don't know. What is your feelings on the Lone Druid?
I think he's fantastic. But I think he can warrant one of the first 3 picks. And he's one of those heroes that doesn't require a ton of farm, and it's pretty easy for him to get farm in lane. In the long lane, because you can just send the bear to scout for you for potential ganks stuff. I mean, I'm a really big fan of the pick. I'm a little surprised that they also picked up the essay. I mean, again, that pretty much tells you what one side is going to do up to the other. CLG is now going to be the aggressive team, whereas xGosu is going to... I mean, they still have a ton of team fight with the Venge, the Enigma, and the Beastmaster, but they're going to rely a little more hard carry as a fallback, I think, in case what happened last game happens. But if CLG had, somehow played it perfectly, then at least this time they have an essay and a Lone Druid to fall back on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they picked up both essay and Riki. But yeah, they definitely have a ton of late game. I'm just not sure how well the laning phase, I don't think that's going to go very well for them. And then the mid game, going into the mid game, unless they hit some really good black holes, I'm just not sure how well that's going to go for them. I mean, you're talking about Brewmaster, Sand King. It's just an overwhelming team fight going on CLG. And they do have, I mean, Panda isn't really a typical pusher. Well, now they pick up Death Prophet, so that's a big push coming out. But I was going to say, Panda just being able to initiate team fights and being able to tank towers and pop that ultimate and just be able to wreck team fights and then have 3 units to be able to hit on towers if necessary, if it comes to that. He's sort of a sort of semi-pusher, and just in the regards that he wins team fights and initiates them so well. But now that they have Enchantress and Death Prophet, they definitely have a lot of push. So really great team fight all around. Some really good push. I think Death Prophet's a great pickup. She's just gonna have to really watch out. I mean, that Riki could be gunning for her every single time, just doing so much damage. But at the same time, they are going to be able to pick up a silence, so that's going to be very helpful against almost every single hero on that team. Riki is going to be able to watch out for the AoE silences as much as possible. They are CLG once again going to go into the jungle full force, 5-manning it. Just in the off chance they do get to pick off someone, while xGosu is just sitting at their lanes, setting them up and sitting down. Not really going into the jungle so much.
Yeah, I kind of like the picks actually. The Death Prophet pick, it kind of synergizes pretty well with the Panda. One of the knocks on Death Prophet is that once she pops her ult, people just run away. But with a hero like Panda, once you blink in, clap, and then pop your ult, it kind of makes it a lot more difficult to do that sort of strategy. And if you notice, interestingly enough, Misery has replaced Smogolig, I think. I don't know if Smogolig had to go or anything. Yeah, so now we see Misery is going to be playing the Panda role that I think Smogolik usually would play. But so a lot of interesting factors we have here since, I mean, Misery is one of the most well-known players in Europe. Really, really good player.
Yeah, I actually didn't notice that. And speaking of that, let's go top to bottom, left to right real quick. They have a ward behind the tower, but I don't think they're going to die this. Unless Mikey goes forward. If they block him out of the trees here, oh no, get in front of him. He doesn't quite get in front of him, but just the auto attacks are going to be enough. One more hit, there it goes. They pick up the first blood on Mikey. Great job doing that. So that ward behind the tower paying off, and with an aggressive Enchantress in the jungle, they're going to be able to dive over and over easily. I mean, Panda is a tanky hero who can soak up tower damage relatively easily. You have 2 nukes coming out from, is that Miracle? That's Miracle, right? Yeah. 2 nukes coming out from Miracle, and then also a neutral creep coming in from behind with the Enchantress. This bottom lane is going to be very dangerous, and I wonder if they're going to try and switch something up here. Ex-GoSu, Vegetable Spirit, looks like Riki are going to middle, so maybe they're going to have Solera go bottom as Lone Druid. I'm not sure if that's going to work out. So, I mean, Lone Druid is still going to have just as hard a time as the Riki Vengeful Spirit. I can see how maybe they value the Riki's farm a little bit more, but still, it's not like he's going to be doing very great up against Death Prophet either. I mean, her ability to just spam for farm and harassment at the same time is just kind of, you know, too much to handle. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with these lanes. Thought splits?
Well, I mean, they want to get the Riki as quickly as possible, because he's going to be the hero that really carries them through the mid game. But, so, I mean, valuing his farm more than anything, but at the same time, they're going to go on Solara at bottom, and they're just going to continuously force him out. But if Solara is smart with his bear, he won't die. Whereas the SA, he can't really do much against this sort of aggressive dual lane. Like, if CLG decides to go on the SA, he can't really do much. Or if they decide to go on the bench, the SA can't really do much but throw up a cloud. Whereas Solara can just safely farm using his bear. So I think the lane swap is smart and necessary. Dota's not one of those games where you have to be stubborn and say, this is the way things are going to be. It's meant to be flexible and versatile, and I actually think this is going to work out for them, because SA and VS put out a lot of damage, and they can just kind of control the runes using VS with the dual lane, and deny Loda a lot of farm.
Yeah, absolutely. They're already almost going to take out the bear here. A couple more hits, and he summons a new one just before that. But still, he is taking a lot of damage. We're actually going to see a clap coming in from the Ursa. He does hit the slow. Great job. No stun coming out from the Minotaur. No mana left, but they do a lot of damage to him nonetheless. And we are going to see this tier 1 probably be pushed down fairly quickly. But the question is, can they just get enough farm on Enigma and on the Riki? You know, enough to be able to sacrifice both Lone Druid's farm and the tier 1 bottom tower. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Lone Druid is going to be able to do better in this regard. And I just got word, we actually just put up the 4th question on Twitter. So there's that little heads up on you guys. So if you want to win a free beta key, go there right now and do that whole thing. But yeah, I mean, look at the towers just getting beaten on. And at least, you know, Lone Druid, if he is near the tower, he can block with his bear and all that sort of thing. So, I don't know, we'll just have to see how if it plays out well for them in the mid game. Korok right now is level 3. Let's go over CS right now. Right now, Loda is 10-4, while Korok is 16-5. Korok picking up a lot of CS, and I'm kind of surprised. I expected Loda to be able to do a little bit better. Of course, it's hard being able to outlast hit a hero, melee hero, who does so much damage to creeps, like Riki does. I just expected him to be able to swarm and harass a little bit more and pick up a lot more CS that way. Maybe not prevent Korok from getting CS, you know, very hard, at least, you know, in the beginning. Maybe once he gets his bottle in level 5, after that, he should be able to spam him out. But I didn't expect him to really lose the lane as hard, CS-wise, as he is. Right now, Sand King atop is 18-7. Well, of course, poor Beastmaster. I mean, you're going up melee v melee. When you're talking about Caustic Finale, that's just rough. So Beastmaster right now only standing at 11-2. We're going to see the popped haste, and unfortunately, Vengeful Spirit is not close enough, and of course, Beastmaster is definitely not level 6. So they don't get to pop off that. Meanwhile, CLG kind of setting up for a potential gank in middle, or maybe on the Enigma. They're just going to full-on man up and take away the easy creep camp from him. They're getting kind of aggressive here when they knew that Beastmaster was topped with the haste. I'm not sure if it's going to pay off or not. They might be able to hit a stun on XP. Korok is very, very low, but they're going to be able to pick up him easily grabbing the Crystal Maiden. So not paying off for them. And last hit Magic, both of them are very, very low. But it doesn't matter. They didn't go down and they picked up kills. So very well done. Now Brewmaster with Phase Boots is just able to basically mano-a-mano on this lone Druid. Anytime he has Phase Boots up and wants to try for it, he could just speed up and try and hit a clap, and Solera has to back off, especially with the tier 1 tower down. So nice little influx of gold so far for CLG.
Yeah, CLG, I mean, once again, they're slightly ahead again. They've taken the tower really... There wasn't much that ex-GoSu could do. They kind of conceded that tower was going to be taken down. At the same time, I mean, it really depends on how the mid-game's going to go for them. They don't have as much team fight as they last game because they're relying on the lone Druid and the SA to carry them into the late game. So it's going to be interesting to see if CLG can just push out and win. Because if you'll notice CLG's lineup, like past the 30-minute mark, it's going to get progressively less effective. They don't really have a hard carrier or Riker. All their damage comes from their ultimates, and they're really, really high CP ults. Like Death Prophet's ult is 100 seconds yet.
Last hit Magic's gonna go down. Nice little Cyclone on the Syllabear as well. Last hit Magic teleported bottom because Syllabear was getting dove, but unfortunately that just means they turned around on him. If he just canceled the teleport, that would have been a nice little play, but they do pick up that kill. So nice job there.
Yeah, and as I was saying before though, CLG is going to rely on their high CD ults to really do their damage and their team fight. So if ex-GoSu can kind of just bully past that, then they should be okay. But I mean, at the same time, it depends on how well CLG plays the mid game. It's kind of like the onus is kind of on them this game to do something.
Mm-hmm. What I really like, what I admire about xGosu's lineup is a lot of times, personally, when I scrim, I really value the laning phase. Maybe that's just because I'm a support hero, but Solera does finally go down to the wombo combo. Misery, Ake, and Miracle dive the tower. We're gonna see a teleport actually in coming in from Beastmaster. He does have his ultimate, and Ake might be caught out here. We're gonna see maybe no teleports in to middle right now. Vengeful Spirit might be able to come off as well as the Riki, so this Enchantress is probably dead unless she pulls out some serious jukes here. Oh man. It's nice job. Very well timed. She's going to run through the creep wave without getting seen, hopefully, and is going to get away. Very well done. Really great jukes by Ake. Very well done. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, I really value the laning phase. Maybe that's just because I'm a support player. But every single time I watch xGosu, they don't really have the strongest lanes. A lot of time they lose the laning phase, you know, kind of hard. But they pull through very, very excellently. They don't throw their lanes. I mean, they know they're down, but they still, you know, pretty much muddle through. And, you know, even if they don't, even if they are supposed to lose the laning phase, they don't lose it hard. You know, they don't throw away their lanes. They don't give away extra kills or anything like that. They just lose the CS, and they're content with that.
I get over
a little bit of trouble. Yeah, throwing the stunt to Beastmaster ultimate, that's no good. So completely caught out there, trying to take the tier 1 tower at top, and that gets denied by Painted Gold. So nice little gank by xGosu, great turnaround. Korak is actually in a little bit of trouble. He's not level 5, and he goes down, trying to get the smoke off before Loda can hit his nuke, but no success there. So they pick up that kill. Great job. Misery with his double damage now. It's going to come in. They're going to pop this creep wave and go for the next tier 1 tower at middle. And this could be the last tier 1 tower. I don't think xGosu is really able to defend this at all, especially with double damage on Misery and his ultimate up in 15 seconds. They just can't really do anything about this tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under it. Radiant's middle tower
has
fallen.
Again, see CLG being the Xer. I mean, they kind of have to with the lineup they have. But as I was saying, xGosu, what their strength really relies on, it's not really the laning phase, but it's their ability to not get picked off in their team fight.
Misery in a little bit of trouble now with no ultimate. Oh, nice smoke combined with the entangle from the bear. That was just a great entangle. Very lucky. They pick up the panda before he can pop his ultimate. So Misery getting a little too aggressive and gets basically silenced and mobbed down. Great little job pickup by xGosu once again.
Yeah, I think their plan here is to try to like get a stun off or a roar on a Panna and then just abuse with smoke, with SA smoke, and try to pop him down before the ult gets off. Because really, that's the big deal. But I mean, oh man, I still can't get over how Ake's playing. The juke he did in was so like understated. He timed the creep wave perfectly. Everything just went so well into that. Like 2 games in a row, he just went fantastically. Like we as a community put way too much emphasis on players playing carriers, the like, but it's really the supports that are gonna carry you through. You know, like not getting picked off or not dying unnecessary deaths and pushing tower smartly and not dying. Like these are the things that lead to wins. Like smart play like that.
They're gonna be able to pick up Miracle and Mill. Nice little job. Painted Gold initiating with the ultimate, and then Korok obviously cleaning up with a massive amount of damage he provides. But a great little pickup once again by xGosu. They're doing these picks very, very excellently. Even if they didn't need Enigma there, Enigma was there. Now they're ready to maybe push in the tier 1 tower. They do ping it up, and with Enigma level 3 Eidolons, they had a chance maybe to be able to do a little bit of damage, but as it stands right now, Loda being level 8, he's just able to spam down waves and defend towers that way relatively easily.
Yeah, and another pick off on the lone druid. And this game is kind of going to be brutal for him from the beginning, as he was in the hard lane, or I mean, he was in the short lane, but he was against a tri-lane, and there wasn't a lot he could do here. So, I mean, I really hope that Pyke actually goes for the Blink Dagger first this game, unlike Loda's decision to go for the point booster. And Pycat's playing a little bit of a risky farm build. If you'll notice, he doesn't have a single level of Sandstorm. So he has to be really controlled with how hard he decides to push up. And I want, can you bring up the gold grab for a second?
Absolutely.
I just want to see what the different Children is. And yeah, the Dire has a pretty decent lead. If you'll notice, the Venge still doesn't have her boots. But at the same time, she's only died once, so things aren't going terribly for her. This is what I was talking about ports not being picked off often. Like, this is what's necessary for games to be won.
Loda's build on Death Prophet, not actually maxing, excuse me, Crypt Swarm, but going for the phase boots and splitting between Witchcraft, which is, you know, typical. You get 1 level of silence, and then, but usually you would max out your Swarm and then max out Witchcraft from there. But I like what he's doing, especially since movement speed is so incredibly important against Ricky Cloud. Just being able to pop the extra little bit of movement speed from Witchcraft, and then on top of that, being able to pop phase boots, he's able to get away from Ricky, as he just did at bottom. Cloud was pretty much nothing. He took a couple hits, which he's tanky enough to do, and he was just able to phase boots away. So I like that. I mean, he's going to be able to farm anyway, and an extra level in Crypt Swarm isn't really that big of a deal. It's only an extra 50 damage. I never realized that before, and actually, it goes up by 75, and then at the very last level, only 50 damage increase. So I like that by Loda. I think that's a smart little play. It's just a little bit of differences, you know. An extra 4% movement speed could help you dodge that 1 extra hit, you know. And I like that. I like to see those little things.
Yeah, it also decreases the cost, the cooldown by one second per level.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose that ultimate is going to be really important. So getting the extra, you know, that 1 extra ghost is going to be really, really important. Hopefully we're going to see a lot of tier 2s going down. Otherwise, you know, as it stands right now, xGosu has gotten a nice couple little picks. Right now the score is 4-5, 12 minutes in. And actually, they might be able to pick up Misery. Misery, actually, they don't have a silence, so they can't pick him off like they did last time. But Misery already with the Gem of True Sight. Interesting. Very, very aggressive. So he's going to be relying on his ultimate as much as possible, obviously, to survive. But he's going to get really aggressive and start countering these wards. And I think this is really good. And once they take control of the map, and they can start taking away some of that farm that xGosu is going to try and get in this sort of early to mid game. Once it starts transitioning out of the laning phase, they're going to try and pick up an extra little bit of farm that they missed out in the laning phase. Riki actually picking up the Death Prop, and a little bit surprised she was able to grab that. The rest of his team was not in range of that, and so great job picking up that kill and instantly teleporting away. Very well done by Riki.
Is under attack.
Yeah, he's actually just doing really smart pickoffs. It's really nice to see him play like this. The Death Prophet can't really lane against him properly, as his backstab just does so much damage now. And at the same time, if you'll notice, the difference here is that CLG was doing a good job of pushing out, but xGosu is really precise in their ganks. And they're a team that like excels at picking heroes off. Like, that's what they do. I mean, even if the laning goes bad for them, they just kind of build up this small lead, you know, over little pickoffs here and there, and it just kind of snowballs for them. But at the same time, I mean, CLG is a top 10 team for a reason, in my opinion. They're really experienced. I mean, no means are they even close out of this game. They've got the tower advantage, and it just kind of matters how they're going to play it in.
Yeah, Painted Gold taking a lot of damage here. He does go down. Beastmaster does get picked off. So nice little job there. I don't think anyone else is going to be picked up here, but CLG can start pushing in. Brewmaster, excuse me, is going to be coming in. And they're going to try and force this tier 2. I think that's going to be smart with LotA now at level 9. He has his ultimate up. They can try and do a little bit of damage to this tower. Maybe even take it. I'm not sure if that's going to go well for them. Beastmaster is going to be up, so they might be able to take it out before he comes back into this fight. Otherwise, it looks like maybe xGosu might be able to sacrifice this tower. Lone Druid is actually teleporting back in now, so they are going to try and force this fight. And CLG maybe going to back off here. Don't want to force too bad a fight. Misery gets stunned. Not too big of a deal, though. He still has his ultimate, so unless the Riki, you know, they do that nice little combo, which I don't think is going to happen with Silence coming out from LotA. It's going to be very, very hard. Smoke, once again, going off in the jungle, trying to trap in the Crystal Maiden. Smart play, but doesn't quite get it. Stun, actually, Silence goes off the Eventual Sprint. They're going to be able to pop off that. They pick up a kill easily. Now they're going to try and keep going here. The Brewmaster pops his ultimate. There goes Cyclone. He purchases the Cyclone. He's going to try and jump on Enigma. He has no mana for Black Hole. Meanwhile, Enchantress goes down. A couple more hits, and Enigma does go down. There he goes. Miracle in a little bit of trouble now. Korak picks up that kill, but he throws the dust before he goes down. Solera, a couple more hits. Misery picks up that kill. Now Korak is in severe trouble. Nice job. Painted Gold hitting a huge ultimate. Stopping. Silence goes off now on Korak. Korak is not able to blink strike away, and he goes down. Painted Gold trying to help him out, but you know, he's in some serious trouble. Mikey coming back into the fight now. Highcat looking to hit the stun. He misses the stun on Mikey, and now Mikey might be able to get away here. Misery trying to be able to land a clap. There goes the clap, and there goes the swarm. They pick up that kill. Mikey goes down, and so a 3-for-1? I think that was a 3-for-1 exchange in the favor of CLG. The only person they lost was the Enchantress. So very well done. It was a nice couple little plays. I saw Painted Gold trying to help out Korak as much as he could. But Brewmaster, I mean, in these team fights, Brewmaster just does what he does. He's able to pick off one hero, pops his ultimate, picks off another hero, Enigma specifically, and just does some serious work. It's just too much for xGosu at this point, so early on.
Yeah, it was actually a 4-for-1 trade. They got they got the Enigma as well, like early on in the fight. And the crazy thing was, if Pycat hadn't stunned there, like right then, the Enigma was about to get a really nice hold off. He was in the center of 3 heroes, including Pycat, but I mean, it's like little things like that where advantages add up. And I mean, Pycat now has his Blink Dagger. The relevant items are on their heroes. Like Ake now has a pointer, so she's not so squishy. Panda has a Blink Dagger as well now. Like this went disastrously xGosu. Like now they have 2 Blink Daggers, really nice initiation, a ton of team fight. So xGosu doesn't have a lot of in terms of making mistakes.
Miracle trying to get away now. Painted Gold does has an ultimate and axes. He's just going to throw the axes. Great job picking up that kill. Stopping the ultimate. Not want to waste it. It's a low cooldown spell, but, you know, they might need it in the next 80 seconds. We're going to see maybe a push in by middle. They lost the Crystal Maiden, but that's really not that big of a deal. She is holding the dust, which I wonder if they... Oh, they still have the gem. Never mind. Gem still on Misery. That's such a great pickup. I mean, with all the team fights that are forcing right now, the Blink Dagger, like you said, level 11 ultimate, they're just going to be crushing these team fights. Lone Druid is trying to pick up whatever farm he can right now, but, you know, the laning phase just didn't go so well for him. Pycat jumping in with his Blink Dagger, opting not to stun, though. He sees, he recognizes he's in a little bit of trouble here. They pick up the tier 2, though, and do not pick off Pycat at all. LotA actually popping his ultimate, doing a little bit of damage all by himself to this tier 2 at top. They know that Riki is bottom along with Enigma, so they can get aggressive with this. They're going to trade tier 1 for 2 tier 2s, it looks like here. Obviously not the greatest exchange, but they do need to get some sort of gold lead. They can't really force these team fights as it stands right now. So they are going to see this tier 2 going down. LotA's ghosts do drop, but it doesn't matter. They pick up that kill anyway. And Death Prophet is just going to get tankier from here on out. Vanguard, Phase Boots, and now from here on out, we'll have to see what he picks up. Real quick, do you like Vanguard to see on Death Prophet? I know a lot of like, especially since that nerf that happened to Vanguard. A lot of people don't really like Vanguard, just pretty much ever. They like to see, you know, Bloodstone more often. What is your feelings on Vanguard now?
It's one of those, I mean, it's a mid-game item. It's one of those really cheap, tanky items that Death Prophet needs. So, I mean, this kind of tells you that they're not trying to play into the late game. Bloodstone is one of those snowball items where you get the last day Magic's gonna go down as well. But yeah,
Great
Bloodstone's one of those items that, you know, you parlay into the late game. Your mana regen is so high and everything, but right now he's just grabbing the Vanguard for the mid game fights, and I think they'll actually try to rush here. Maybe. Is that what they're lining up to do?
Yeah, I really like the Vanguard pickup since he's going mech. He's like just completely going all in for the mid game. He's gonna get the mech for his team. He's not gonna invest into Bloodstone at all. And pretty much, I mean, once Brewmaster gets the Aghanims, I mean, you know, that's still another step they get to hit. So they have, you know, some viability. They don't have to rely on Death Prophet to go into this late game. They still have an Aghanims that's going to be able to pick up on Brewmaster. That's going to be a huge pickup, as well as level 16. Pycat doing a little bit of work at top, hits a nice little stun, blinks away. He's just trying to prevent the tower, delay the tower as much as possible while his team takes Roshan. So they trade to tier 1 for Roshan, and Death Prophet actually picks up the Aegis. Now, ideally, you know, really, Death Prophet isn't the ideal hero to have an Aegis unless you bait her out. She goes down and then she pops Ghost when she comes back a second time. But she's still decent, like, you know, she has the levels. Obviously, you're not going to rely, so you don't want Misery to have it either, because, you know, he has that ultimate to rely upon. So it's just sort of lesser evils at this point. It's, you know, not the best hero to have it, but still the best in this situation, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like CLG is, I mean, the Aegis, they should actually just like push out really hard now. They have a mech on their hero, they have an Aegis, they have the Blink Daggers. There's not much they need. I mean, I guess they could wait for Misery to get an Aghanims, but they're not going to do that. They're just going to, they have like the mid-game team. They have like the perfect mid-game team. They have a DP, an SK, I mean, an SK, like once a BKB comes into play in a pipe, he gets significantly worse. And a mech, so I mean, but they do have the advantage now, so they're gonna try to press it here. There's no more two pushing. I think they're gonna go for Rack now, from the way it looks.
I like the way they target the
bear
so heavily. Whenever they have the opportunity to catch the bear out, they do a lot of damage to him and force the Solera to pop a new one. So that means it's on cooldown. I like that. It's just those little things like that where, you know, if Solera goes down, it has to buy back or something like that, or the bear goes down again. That's a serious loss. No entangles. He has no items on the bear. He's not really building for that. He's sort of building for that tanky bear, but still, at the same time, it's a nice little thing. CLG is pushing into tier 3 now. LotA, with his ultimate, is doing a bit of work. Vanguard as well as on Pycat. And I was going to mention, you know, I was going to say, who's going to go for that pipe? But really, they don't need it. I mean, you're looking at the magic damage on xGosu, and it's very, very minimal. And so, like, they don't really need that pipe. They just went straight for Vanguards, both on Pycat and LotA. And I like that. I kept looking at all the heroes and going, who's going to get that pipe? But really, they don't need it. Ghost Scepter being picked up on CM, I like that. Trying to dodge that Riki as much as possible.
It's just a little more survivability for her. I mean, she has the money for it. So, I mean, they have all the relevant items. I mean, they're really strong, but it looks like they're just going to try to gank Korok and split push again. But they're not going to find him. I mean, Korok is playing really smartly, really defensively here. He's really squishy, only has 900 health, and he should die relatively quickly if they find him here. And, oh, are they going to catch him? Misery definitely sees him with the jet.
Nice little silence coming out from Korok. Great cloud. But they don't really commit to it. They're going to back off. They just kind of jumped in and forced a charge from his defusal and backed out. So, safe little play. They don't really want to get caught out right now. They have the advantage. They can't really throw that away. Goldgraph, 10,000 in the lead for the Dire right now. The experience very, very similar. But as it stands right now, I mean, we're just looking at those last little items. Ake is going to go for that Aghanims, so that's another item that they can pick up. Ake is finally going to be able to do some actual work when it comes sort of the mid to late game. Once he has that Aghanims and some levels, Riki's actually in trouble once again. He's going to go down here unless the cloud saves him a bunch. He tries to blink strike to Solera, but does not get it off in time. The evasion just not working out for him from the cloud. He goes down, and now we're going to see another push coming in. DotA with his ultimate at level 13, max Witchcraft and level 2 ultimate is going to do a lot of work here. They still have the Brewmaster ultimate as well. They don't have the Aghanim's quite yet, but still, sees some work. He's going to jump in. He's going to try and kill the Enigma before he goes down. Pycat throws a stun as well. They're going to try and save him. No, the Ghost pick him up before that happens, and now they're just going to do some damage to the tower. Misery taking a lot of damage from the bear. Entangles, so good. Painted Gold with the double damage is going to try and come in with the hood, but he still does not have pipe, and this tower is going to go down before they can really do anything to save it. They're just trying to spam spells to keep the creeps down. But as it stands right now, we might see the racks go down. We're going to see Riki coming back into this team fight, and they're going to try and force this before the melee racks goes down. Bear is going to get kicked off here. A couple more hits, and he goes down. They don't have the Entangle now, and it looks like maybe CLG, maybe they should back off here. We're going to have the Enigma coming up. No ultimates. Actually, they still have the Brewmaster ultimate. They can still force this if they want to. They're going to keep going for this, chipping down the melee racks. I like this. They're playing very, very passive. DotA is going to soak up any damage. He has the Aegis, but he's just going to keep hitting the melee racks, and they're just going to play passive. I love this. This is a really smart play by CLG. You know, here goes Misery. Finally, they're going to jump in now with the ultimate, hitting 2 heroes with the clap. Now the ultimate. Last hit magic once again. Not going to be able to hit Black Hole. Where's it at? Where's the Black Hole? He's going to get silenced once again. The silence from DotA saving their asses. And now Painted Gold's in the middle of things. The Brewmaster, they're trying to pick off this melee rasp. Couple more hits. They're going to be able to pick it up. One more hit from DotA, and they pick up that kill. CLG is now kind of trying to get away before they get anybody kicked off. DotA might go down here with the, but he does have the Aegis. Pycat with his ultimate misses out on Korak, and Korak is going to turn around now. He's going on Pycat. Silence coming out. There goes Korak. He goes down. Black Hole. 3 heroes getting caught in. Misery's the only one left out. They're going to try and pick it up, but not enough damage. Death Prophet coming back in. He has his ultimate back up. Ultimate back up with full health, full mana, and now last hit magic is in serious trouble. Nice little bear ultimate coming down. Misery's gonna go down. DotA is cleaning up heroes left and right, though. He's doing a lot of damage. Pycat, nice little stun, using the invis, trying to get away. Now Solera, though, look at him. He's just beasting up on DotA. DotA, couple more hits. He might be able to pick it up. There goes DotA. He goes down. And that is the end of the team fight. That was like, what, a 3-for-4 exchange? Something really weird like that. That was just a long team fight. They pick up the melee racks, and that's what's important. They pick up the melee racks, they have the lane advantage.
Yeah, but I mean, that took them way too long, and they didn't win as hard as I expected, considering that Aegis was on DP, and her ult popped twice. You know, the fight was so long that it popped twice, and the fight still didn't go terribly well for them. A big part of that is the Beastmaster aura with Solara and his bear. It's doing a ton of damage. He actually just picked up a Vlad's because he was doing so poorly and he wanted some mid-game presence, and it's actually working out really well for them right now. And I mean, you can't really count out xGosu out at all. I mean, did you see last hit Magic's Black Hole? They get 1 or 2 more of those, and that's actually going to turn the game around completely for them.
Yeah, just all game long, he's had such a hard time. Actually, Swap, they're going to be able to pick up Miracle easy, 1, 2, 3, and now my Misery's a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have an ultimate. So if they get some good entangles here, they might be able to pop off. There goes one entangle. Slow coming out. He's going to try and get that miss chance. Silence coming out. He's going to be able to get away here. Great job by DotA hitting a huge silence. Pycat maybe going to look here to jump in. He almost has an ultimate. Picks off Solera. He's going to hit that stun. Pipe going off. Now can they pick off anything? Beastmaster does not have his ultimate still. DotA's going to pop his ultimate, and they're going to try and chase this Cyclone. Going off. He's going to try and go on Mikey now. Nice little silence. He's going to be able to pick off him. Maybe the ghosts are just so hard to target heroes that are running away. Couple more hits from the Ghosts. They're definitely going to be able to pick up that kill. Now turning on Painted Gold now. Riki picks up the Enchantress kill as well. Bottom going action with Enigma is going to go down. Meanwhile, Death Prophet is chasing middle. Painted Gold, couple more hits from the Ghosts. They're going to be able to pick up that kill, but a last hit magic goes down as Enigma at bottom. Meanwhile, Riki is pushing in top. He's going to try and do a little bit of damage to the tower, but Death Prophet ultimate is going to be down for this upcoming push. He just hit level 16, and that's great and all. Brewmaster, excuse me, is going to be able to hit his level 16 fairly soon on top of the Aghanim's. But really the time is approaching. They really have to start ending this game before Korak gets a little bit too strong. Korak turning around on Pycat, hitting a nice little cloud, and it's combined with Diffusal Blade gets him to half health. CM hitting a big ultimate. What a play. Pycat's going to combo with his ultimate now. Solera, one more hit, and they get it. They pick up the Solera kill. Oh man, they get the gem, and now they're going to be able to no, the tower is not deniable. So they save the tower from going down. That's really big. They can't give up any extra gold. And taking down Solera was very big. I mean, he's just so tanky. With that Vlad's combined with that aura, like you were saying, he was just able to man up on Death Prophet that mid-team fight. And he's just so tanky, he didn't care about Ghost. And the lifesteal was helping prevent a lot of extra damage. Just the damage over time provided by him of the aura, and then just his natural tankiness. He's able to soak up a lot of CLG Ghost damage coming out. We're going to see Ghost Scepter being picked up by Death Prophet, so again, just trying to dodge Shariki as much as possible. And if once you're able to get out of that cloud and get away from him, because naturally you just normally have to run away, especially if you're a spell orientated hero, you have to get out of that cloud, which you take a lot of damage. Azu, great job. Great job, buddy. We're going to see the Roche coming up in another 30 seconds, and I'm sure CLG is completely aware of that, and they're going to start pushing in bottom a little bit, but once the opportunity is available, they can also take that Roche on. We're going to see Misery with an Aghanims now. Once he picks up that level 16, that is very big. It's just so much damage coming out from that.
Yeah, it's kind of really necessary too, because like these fights, they're going okay for CLG, but they really need to make a dent now. I think for mid, ex-GoSu felt that they had to do something, and they overextended a tad, and they got really unlucky because they didn't get a single root on Panda until late. But at the same time, you know, like CLG has to do something. Like they're playing really well right now, but they don't have the heroes to carry them into the late game, and we're rapidly approaching that point where the effectiveness of the heroes is going to go down, and the aura strat that ex-GoSu has with the BM, the VS, and the Vlads that they have, I mean, I don't know if you noticed that, but it's working out really nicely for Korok to do damage.
Oh yeah, I mean, anytime you combine those two with a nice little sort of hard carry, it's amazing how that hard carry can come into the mid game so strong. Like normally you wouldn't see Solera being able to do so much considering the lack of farm, but because of those aura stacking, like you said, it's just amazing how much damage he can do without the items. We're going to see him trying to go for Assault here as he has the Hyperstone, and I think it's a really smart play. I mean, just making Solera tanky as possible. Normally we would see a pipe, you know, being picked up, actually pipe on Beastmaster. Forgot about that. Anyway, you know, that sort of lone druid sort of grabbing those tanky items. Instead of going for that sort of Radiance build, just go for the other tanky sort of anti-push, just being able to take out damage build. I think this is really smart, especially obviously the armor being able to soak up so much damage from Loda. That really limits Loda's time to be able to dominate. He hit level 16, so he's kind of maxed out. Misery is kind of maxed out as well once he hits level 16. Like you said, the time for them to win is right now. You know, there are only so many steps that they're going to have. Level 16 on Brewmaster, level 16 on Zanking was actually just picked up. But those things, level 16 is pretty much their endgame. That is really when they start scaling off heavily. So yeah, they really got to win right now. Age is going to be able to pick up Roshan. That is only that's only the second Roshan, correct? So we're not going to see Cheese.
Nope, but at the same time, that should mean more or less, I think they'll wait for Misery to just like quickly jungle, get 16, or maybe even just spam down the wave by himself. He really needs level 16 to really get the effectiveness of his ult out. At the same time though, ex-GoSu, they are down to racks, but it's not the worst thing in the world. The lanes are all pushed out, Korok is actually pressuring top, and the pipe kind of counters what Pycat has so far. If he can get a nice Veil off, it'll also counter the pipe, so it's kind of like a ring around the rosy, but it really depends on how well Pycat is going to have to play here. Like, he's the hero to watch right now.
Brewmaster is jumping in. We're going to see a swap coming in. Mikey trying to save the Beastmaster. He goes down, but now Painted Gold is going to be able to come back in with an ultimate. Lodo doing a lot of damage. They're going to pop the Enigma. Enigma trying to get out. He's trying to get away so he can hit a nice black hole, but the Pandas are just doing too much. He can't do anything to the Pandarans. And now Loda's doing so much damage to the tower. They're going to be able to pick up that tier 3 Solera. Half health, he's going to have to heal up now. Korok coming in, popping his BKB. He's trying to get out now. Beastmaster is going to go down here. There he goes. And now they're just trying to get out. They're trying to save what they can. We're going to see Beastmaster coming back in with the buyback. He still does have... No, he doesn't have his ultimate anymore. And he might go down here before Korok even comes back into the fight. They're going to try and chase him a little bit. Solera taking so much damage. Pycat coming in with his ultimate and the stun. Great job. They pick up those 2 kills. And Korok and Vengeful Spirit, the only heroes left. Ake even doing some serious damage with Aghanims. Nice little swap by Mikey trying to dodge. He knew he was going to go down. And they do pick up a counter kill in that regard, but really the racks go down at bottom. The melee racks is dead in middle. They're going to be able to pick up the range racks if they just go middle. And 2 racks down is just really hard for xGosu to come back unless they are able to pick up some sort of picks here from CLG once they start backing up. Unless they're able to pick up some sort of picks and start pushing in, 2 racks is really just too hard to come back from. It's possible. It is possible. And a team like xGosu is definitely, if anybody can do it, they can. But it is going to be a very, very uphill road from here on out. CLG is just going to be able to camp at top and do chip damage to the tower while middle and bottom push in all by themselves. So we'll have to see. This next team fight is obviously going to decide the game, and really it's the deciding factor for xGosu. If they lose the fight, they obviously lose the game. If they win the fight, it doesn't mean they win by any means. It just means that they have a little bit of reprieve until the next team fight, and the next team fight, and the next team fight. And every single one is just, if they lose it, they die. If they win, you know, the game just keeps going at this point.
Yeah, I mean, for xGosu to win, they have to defend this, and they have to defend it, like, really well. As in, they have to trade, like, 4 for 2 at worst. Otherwise, CLG is just going to camp down there, and they're just going to do a little damage at a time, and the other 2 lanes are pushing in so hard.
And they pick off a hero here. Mikey's in some serious trouble, but Korak is going to back out straight away. He's not going to be able to defend Mikey. I don't know if they're thinking they were going to try and pick up some sort of pick-off there. They forced Lodo to use an ulti. So as long as they can get out... Oh, no. Last hit match is going to get caught out here with the slow, and with the ghost is going to be way too much. Pandaren ultimate does get popped. They're going to be able to pick up that kill easily. And the Cyclone as well on Beastmaster, purging it down, and now going to just mob him down. 1, 2, 3. Ake with his ultimate as well. Going to be able to pick up that kill, and that is going to be GG for xGosu. GG is being called out, and so a 1-for-1 right now. CLG picking up game 2 after losing game 1 to xGosu, and we're going to go into a 3rd game, which is excellent. I love it. CLG going to finish off the tower, and we're going to move on to game 3 here, guys. Winning. Look at the gold graph, a little over 15,000. Very well executed push strat. Very well done by CLG. And we're going to move on to game 3, guys.
Wow. Excellent play by CLG. They had an advantage early, and this time they capitalized on it. They never let xGosu come back. I thought there was a little period of time where xGosu not necessarily had an advantage, but they had the glimmers of a comeback. But, I mean, CLG just played this game really cleanly. I mean, you have to hand it to, like, all their players top to bottom. Ake played fantastically. The CM Miracle did a really good job of never getting picked off, using all of her spells efficiently. And, I mean, Pycat, Loda, and Misery's played, it speaks for itself. They just did amazingly well.